Hi, Jada.
Hi, I didn't know that we have already went live. Good Tuesday evening, everyone that's watching us on Facebook Live right now.
Mhm.
Welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm Jada.
I'm Lin. I don't know why we have to do this.
Like, hi.
So nice to see you, Jada. Oh my goodness, we're this is our 11th episode.
Yeah, yeah. And the theme that we are running for the next four series, this series is about the how of inner work. So in the previous eight episodes, I'm so bad with my math. Well, in the previous episode, we talked about how inner work is important for coaches. And we talked about if you want to get successful as a coach, what are some of the mindset that you need to begin adopting and begin to work on, right? And so now really we want to delve into the how. What are some of the ways that for you as a coach you can begin to use besides using coaching skills, right? Coaching skill, you can use it on yourself to put on your inner coach hat. But what are some of the other alternative skills that you can begin to learn to help yourself on this inner work journey?
So, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, whether you're watching the live show or whether you're watching the replay, Down the Rabbit Hole is an inner work journey, and we tumble down the rabbit hole. The reason why we came up with the analogy was because, there's so much depth to who we are inside. We have all these external things outside defining who we are: our jobs, our roles, our titles, objects, the people we hang out with, the things we buy. So all this define our identity and the way that we navigate the physical realm. But when we talk about what's inside, it's almost the journey is just never ending. And yet, if we don't embark on that journey, we will never really know who we are. And I think so much of the work that we do as coaches is because if we are going to help somebody else find out who they are and therefore live an empowered life, well, guess who it needs to begin with? Us. So that's kind of why we started this whole show. Yeah. So, Jada, how are you feeling about this theme? The next few episodes, we're going to have practitioners join us and show us how to do inner work on the spot. How do you feel?
I find it personally very exciting. I think a lot, like what you said just now, right? We deal with a lot of practicality in our lives. And that's a lot. I think that's how almost everybody operates with the world being so busy. We are so um, absorbed into consensus reality, the practical day-to-day operations of life, that we don't take a look at the things that is harder to put a finger on, to it's things that's harder to grasp. For example, energetic works, right? For example, process work. And for today's topic, we're going to talk about something that is something I don't think a lot of people understand this modality. Even I myself, even I've experienced it, I find it so difficult to explain what exactly is MAP, M-A-P, MAP method, right? And so today we're going to use that as a topic to see how can you begin to tap into energy, something that is less out of the consensus reality, something that's more essence, I would say.
Yeah, I like what you said about how these things in the inside world are very difficult to spot or
Mm.
to understand, like to immediately identify. The brain cannot immediately identify it. And the thing, the way that the brain works is that if they can't peg it to something that it already knows, it just kind of bypasses the whole thing. Which is why in a coaching session, our role as a coach is to hold space and hold down that the start of that ball of yarn that then needs to unravel, right? But if we don't hold that down, then that ball of yarn is just going to get shoved under the bed and collect dust. So this is why I love this analogy of the toilet bowl moment. And when we sit down and we have a quiet time to ourselves, like all these things in the background begin to surface, and it is that moment where you can think deeper about it. So, our hope is, when we started this down the rabbit hole, we wanted every Tuesday evening for an hour for coaches to just hold down space for themselves. Because who's going to hold it down for them?
Are you opening up a toilet bowl moment here for everyone?
Oh, we are. And yes, so we're very pleased to invite Rimi to join us in the toilet. I'm so sorry,
Yes,
Rimi.
we're gonna start chat. You know what's the image that's coming to my mind right now? In Singapore when you have to enter, no, in the past, when you enter the toilet, there's this lady sitting by the toilet, and then you charge like 20 cents per entry. So now whoever's joining us in this like talk show right now, please call in your 20 cents or donate 20 cents somewhere to take part in this toilet bowl space.
Welcome to our glamorous toilet bowl space. So who is with us tonight? Please say hi in chat. We see Benjamin who says hello. Oh. Hello, Benjamin. Look. Oh. Who else do we have? Please say hi to us in chat. If you're excited, give a thumbs up. If you're joining us, please stay for the whole hour because you are going to be able to join us in the inner work. Okay, so you might actually be able to go through the process on the spot with us and actually feel that change.
Yep. So
what?
So who do we have this evening? Who's the special guest that we've invited this evening?
So yes, this special guest is my go-to get deep work done avenue. All right, so anytime I need to get deep work done, I need to go to Rimi. I want to go to Rimi.
Yeah, so Rimi is how I describe Rimi is like, you know, if there's something that coaching I can't get past, I can't get solved by coaching, right? Something that is outside of the practical, something that is very hard to describe, something that I can't even put a finger on, but I know that there's something blocking. There's an issue there that needs to really get resolved or unblocked that I can't put words to. Rimi comes to mind.
So those who are with us tonight, you can already start thinking of something that you might like to work on, and Rimi will explain a little bit of that later. So we have Shaila, hi, hello. Mabel, we have Dulcie, thumbs up. Okay, awesome, guys. So this is your chance to work on something within yourself. So Rimi is an energy worker, and she's also a life coach. And there's a very interesting reason why she's both, because Jada is saying MAP is the stuff that is handled outside of coaching sessions. The way I describe it is, you know, whatever that MAP can handle would take maybe many coaching sessions to handle. So she does that, but at the same time, she's also a life coach. So why is it that she has a combination of both? Rimi combines various modalities with coaching to help people understand what is making them stuck in a certain area of their life, remove that blockage, and then together discover what growth is possible. Her mission is to help others become their best, vibrant, I love that, selves, and to equip them so that they can stay in their greatness.
I'm sure we have shined a lot brighter and our vibrance has glowed more ever since meeting Rimi.
Yes. So I've had several sessions with Rimi, but we'll bring her on and then we'll share our experience. So let's welcome Rimi. Everybody put a clap your hands emoticon in chat. Let's go. So I'll do it on. There you go. Woohoo! Welcome, Rimi.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, Rimi.
Yes. Hello.
So thanks for joining us tonight. Okay. Maybe we can kick off a little bit with what you do, right? And then we'll go into why you do what you do.
Okay. So I am an energy worker, and the modalities that I practice are the emotion code and the body code, and also something called the MAP method. That one is the one I'll be sharing about tonight. Yeah.
And you're coaching.
Yes, and coaching. Yes, coaching is more of a newer addition. Yes, so it's still early days, but I guess I have sort of been already coaching in the past with the work that I had been doing, but just now really applying coaching, you know, more mindfully and intentionally the way it is intended to be. Yes. Yeah.
Wow, Rimi, you've got so many tools up your sleeve. Do you coach yourself every day and like use your tools? I mean, on the issues that you're facing?
Yeah, you know, I do. Yes. You know, we were talking earlier and I used them just recently on myself to get over a small hump. So yeah, I'm using them all the time. Yeah.
But before you go into that and share with us how you use them, right? Maybe tell us a little bit more. How do you stumble onto this path? How do you get onto this path of inner work?
Yeah. Okay. So it all started because I actually wasn't actively looking for anything, but I knew that I needed help. I've not been a very happy person for almost as long as I can remember. You know, like I've not been like clinically depressed, but really unhappy, you know, dissatisfied. and I could feel myself suffering from it. And not just myself, but my relationships, my work, and even my kids were suffering from me being this way. So I really knew that I needed help, but I just didn't really know where to turn to. I've tried things. I've tried healing. I tried, therapy and this and that, and they worked, but it was pretty temporary. And then one day I discovered the emotion code. It was completely by accident the way I found it, but it was really eye-opening when I did. The idea that nothing is wrong with me, but it's my negative emotions that are trapped in me, which is causing me to have so much grief. That was a huge relief. And so I went into it straight away and I saw amazing results happen. And then from there, I just suddenly found myself on this path of being a sort of like a healer slash, inner work person. Yeah.
I'm not sure anybody kind of in primary school wrote in their diary, when I grow up, I want to be an inner work / energy person.
Yes.
Or healer. Like you want to be a healer, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was not the person that was going to do it. I never, ever imagined myself doing energy work, being a healer, or, just being a person that would help other people. It was not anywhere in my radar. So that's why I think I was the most surprised that I chose to go down this route. But it feels very natural too. So maybe it was meant to be. I don't know.
So I
Yeah.
can't remember, did we ask how long have you been doing this?
Yeah. So I've been doing this since 2013. Yeah. So it's 7 years and going. Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of inner work. Kind of once you start, you can't stop. And most of the time, nobody knew that they were looking for something. Maybe internally we felt that there is a piece of the puzzle that's missing. But because it's so subtle and because you don't know what you don't know, you just kind of live with it and think it's normal.
Yeah.
And then something happens and you stumble across, whatever modality it is, and then boom, you just can't turn back.
Yeah, you become a junkie almost because it feels so good to get rid of that gunk. And then you start thinking, oh my gosh, if this works so well, what else is there? And that's really how I felt. I was like, if this works really well, I've got to do more. Then I did body code. And then as I did body code, I started thinking, wow, mindset is really the key to everything. And then I went into psychology and I studied a little bit of that. And then a few years later after that, then, I was like, these tools that I have, they're not enough. What am I going to do? And then I found MAP. And then coaching kind of rolled into my life around the same time. So it's really amazing. Yeah. Like all these tools that are out there, to really help to shape your mind and your reality.
I think it's like the moment you tumble down the rabbit hole, there's just no turning back. You just gotta dig deeper and deeper and deeper until you. I don't think there's even an end to it, right?
Yeah, it's a long pursuit, but I enjoy it. So, so it's a great feeling because I've really found something that I'd like to commit myself to, which I had struggled to find, earlier in my life. So, so I'm really glad for that. Yeah.
So we are gonna focus on one modality that you have today, which is the MAP method.
Yeah.
And I can share, my experience of. So I worked with Rimi. I think the first time we met was 4 years ago, and I did the session with you on the using the emotion code. It was more of a future state that I wanted to achieve. So I had just started Collective Change Institute at the time, and it was so important to me to succeed. I came to you and I said, okay, just help me get rid of anything that's blocking my success. And I already felt a difference after one session. And then you became sort of my go-to person to handle these things. And then you had a new modality, and Ting Ling was the one who told me, you should check it out. So I did. So I remember my MAP session with you. I was amazed, and I became an advocate after that because just the amount that you can cover in an hour is amazing. It is stuff that would take many, many, many coaching conversations to sort out. And
Yeah.
in fact, there's a lot of subconscious things that came out. I wasn't even expecting these things to come out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that there were tears, there were shifts, there was a lot of enlightenment. And after that session with you, I can immediately apply the difference, like just being aware, or applying that change of mindset. So that's why I'm very excited to share. Like, my best kept secret, and sharing with everybody.
And can I just echo that? I mean, Lin, with what you said about the subconscious, I really have to agree with that. I think with Rimi's method is like, how do I say? It's like a fast track, a fast track to the subconscious, that words or like questions somehow, because with words and questions, we just have to get past all the logics and all that, right? But Rimi's method just gets past all of that and fast track into the subconscious. That's how I experience your method, whether is it with emotion code or is it with map.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Like, I think that the brain creates a lot of noise, and it's so hard to work through that noise sometimes, and like, coaching is a great tool, but if you've got so much noise, like, how are you going to get through all of that? And I want to get through it faster, right? Everyone wants to get through it faster and make breakthroughs and just get on with their lives. And so that's where MAP I felt was really powerful, because before that, body code was good, but it was very painstaking. You had to do it one by one, and it was very detailed, and it could take ages. But with MAP, we're working with associations in your brain, right? What your mind makes all these connections, So you just needed to recall one thing. The brain can recall the rest that's connected to it. And then we just tell the brain, okay, so please disconnect from all this. It's disempowering. I don't need it anymore. And reconnect it to more empowering ones. And then it works. So that's the really amazing thing for me. Yeah, the person who discovered this, Colette Stryker, is just really, I'm so glad that she came up with this, because it's really, to me, it's very groundbreaking. Yeah.
So we have, so again, for those of us who are joining us tonight, you can join in our inner work activity happening like right about now. So thank you for joining us, and get ready. So Rimi, kick it off. I don't know where to start, but yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
I know we're talking a lot about what the method is, but I think a lot of people who's watching and viewing is like, what exactly is this method that you are using that can straight away shortcut everything and get into the subconscious? So I think we're all really excited to hear and have you lead us through this.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, with no further ado, let's get into MAP. Okay. So MAP is an acronym for Manifesting All Possibilities, because that's what it intends to do. It really tries to help you break free of the limiting stuff and open up more possibilities for you. And it was created by this woman. Her name is Colette Stryker, like I mentioned before. And she has had like maybe 30 years of experience as a coach. I think she was first a therapist, and then she went into coaching, but she's had like 30 years to research lots of things, best practices, and kind of consolidated a lot of stuff together to bring this MAP to people. Okay, so MAP is, I'm going to try to condense what MAP is in a really short, like 2-minute explanation. So I'm probably going to oversimplify it. But this is just so that you get a general idea. So there's one really important discovery in neuroscience that MAP is actually based on. It leverages on this thing very much. So until the year 2000, it was believed that once you had created memories, those memories would be stored in the brain and they would never be changed. You could recall them, bring them back out and look at them, but they'd go back into storage the same way that they were before. They're not changeable. And in the year 2000, a researcher discovered that that was not true. That you could recall a memory, long-term memory, so all the way hidden in storage, bring it to your consciousness, and you have, I don't know, like a really short window, like several nanoseconds maybe, but a very, very small window where you could actually, what's the word? Like manipulate or alter that memory slightly, goes back into your storage again, right? It's a very small window, but it's there. And that means that memories are changeable, right? So when Colette first discovered this, she was just like, why is no one talking about this? This is a huge discovery. It has so many implications. But for the most part, it was pretty much quiet. You know, it was an important scientific discovery, but it didn't really make its way into the mainstream. So Colette thought about this and she said, well, if we can use that window of opportunity, it's called the window of reconsolidation. If we can use that window to change your memories, you know, then what could be possible, you know? And she did a lot more experimenting and researching and eventually created the MAP method. So, okay, so that was kind of the science behind MAP. So MAP, what it does is, right, is that it's going to ask you to recall something, you know, bring it out of storage, right? Even though you might be recalling one thing, behind that one thing is lots of information, you know. You like even this experience that we're having right now, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be attached to it. It's how you felt while you were listening, you know, the kinds of thoughts that you had as you were joining in, you know, and maybe you felt sensations in your body as well, you know, or like maybe you're making associations to like a different Facebook Live or a different talk that you heard, or, you know, another body of knowledge. I don't know, right? Your brain is making so many connections right now because that's how it organizes information. Okay. And so we're going to ask you, or I'm going to ask you to, you know, recall something. And then once it's there and it's ready, it's primed, right? Then I'll give a few instructions. And it's a simplified version, so it's just 2 lines. Okay. But then we'll give your brain a few seconds to let that sink in. And then we will see what has changed for you after that's done. Okay.
Okay. Goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps. Okay.
And before we begin, okay, to all of you that's watching right now, I mean, do bring to mind perhaps something that you want to work on. Rimi, is there any conditions that you know that you want to remind them? Like, what could be some of the things that it will be useful for them to work on in this session with you here?
Yeah. Okay. So you know, we're doing this on the spot kind of. So please do not bring an issue that you have been battling for the last 20 years, because that's going to be too heavy.
That's when you see Rimi, okay? You book a private session with Rimi and you
Yeah.
yeah,
we would, it's probably better if we did like, you know, like a 1-hour session together, you know. But for the purpose of this exercise, maybe it would be helpful if you chose something that happened to you recently, so it's still fresh in your mind. Okay, and it's had some kind of impact. Okay, so like I'm thinking on a scale of 1 to 10. The intensity is 5 and above. Okay, if it's not that much, then it's probably not even worth working on. We can just leave it alone and it'll go away. But if it's impacted you to some extent, you know, a 5 and above, then yeah, let's use that. Okay, so the easiest thing can be, yeah, like an incident that you had recently and you were left feeling bad or uncomfortable. You got this emotion going around it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, so I want to respect your privacy. So you don't need to tell me what issue you've chosen, unless you're dying to share. But otherwise, you can just pick your thing, pick your incident and the emotion that it brings up for you. Okay.
Okay, so I'll share Rimi because it's a talk show. I think people kind of just need to do some context. So
yeah.
I think so listening to you, what I'm gonna bring, what comes to mind is I spent my whole Sunday afternoon sorting through my month claims. All right. And the feeling I have doing my monthly claims is the same feeling I have invoicing. All right. So it's this whole relationship to money. And I think specifically collecting money, I find it a chore. I really find it a chore. And there's a lot of resistance to invoicing and doing claims, even though it is actually quite simple as a process. And most people tell me, you know, come on, it's collecting money. Like, that's the best thing to do. but I don't feel the same way. Or, my husband runs an outsourcing firm, and they're like, just outsource it to your husband who runs an outsourcing firm, right? He's got people who can do it for you, but it's still not as easy. And even though I've set up my systems, I've married the right guy, it still happens. So, and one of the things that I realized recently was because I do quite a bit of intention setting. So I have a practice to set intentions. And every time I've noticed, after a few times I did this, I just noticed it last week. When I write down that I want more money, I want more wealth, there's always this nagging thing at the back of my mind that I have to work. Oh, that means I have to work harder. If money, and it goes into this huge snowball. But how am I going to work harder when I need to spend time with the kids? I'm really so stretched. I don't have any more time. And then I have this internal freak out. I didn't know this was happening all this while. And I feel that's kind of the block between me and wealth.
Okay.
So backstory. Okay. So that feeling is what I experienced on Sunday. I'll take that as an example for the session today.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay. So while we were talking, I hope people have managed to come up with something, and maybe it would be also help if we could measure how much progress we're making. So if you could label how much that feeling or that incident is bugging you, on a scale of 1 to 10, just pick a number that comes to your mind.
So if you would want to maybe share to those who's watching, if you want to share, you could just maybe tell us one word that you're working on or something if you want to, and then with it tell us the number 0 to 10, right? Rimi, that's what you say.
Yeah. So it would be nice if we could focus on something 5 and above, so that you can sort of see any difference. Yeah.
Okay. But so Lin, for your issue, what's the intensity that you're feeling right now?
Instinctively, it's like a 7 or an 8. Yeah. Okay, I'll go with 7.
Okay.
You have something?
I've got a relationship thing that I've been a pattern that I sort of repeated again yesterday. So it's a recent event that happened, but it's linked to that is a relationship issue that's been recurring for a long time. Not a long time, like 20 years, but then but it's something that just recently happened again. I'm like, oh my God, why did it happen again?
Yeah. Okay.
So what's your number?
And the intensity is probably 8 or 9. 8. Wow. I would say 8.
Okay.
I can feel it here.
Okay.
So let's see where's everyone at, if anyone's typing to chat.
No, only me. It's okay, let's roll with it. I think they have it in their minds.
Go.
Okay. Are we okay to go ahead? Is it just fine to go on?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So have that emotion and anything else it brings up for you present in your mind. You can have it on a screen in front of you, in a bubble. Yeah, just bring it up for yourself. And when you're ready, can you let me know?
Yep, ready.
Okay. So when you're ready, I'm going to start reading out a few instructions to your mind. Superconscious, can you see this event and the emotions that are associated with it? Superconscious, if you can see this event and the emotions and it's ready to be treated, please treat them and do a massive change history and everything after that. Okay, so that was round 1. I'm interested to know if there was any change at all. Did you notice anything?
After you issued a command, the sound that came to my mind was what happens when you clear your trash on your desktop.
Okay.
That's all. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
For me, it's because I said there's emotions here, so the feeling went like this.
Okay. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the sensation I got.
Okay. All right. So I'm not able to see the chat actually. So I'm not, is anyone else saying anything, or are we okay to move on?
Yes. Okay. So Shaila says 8. Karina says it's about work and it's on an 8 or 9. Sumendra says 9. Well, those of you who are clocking 9s, I'm glad you're with us tonight. See, that's the prize for joining us. Mabel's a 7. Okay, so Sumendra, Karina, Shaila all say yes.
Okay, all right. So did you guys notice any difference, even if it's slight?
Okay, so if you notice a difference, you can put it in chat.
Yeah.
I think actually, Rimi, when I think back about it, after the sound, which is quite therapeutic actually, there was a voice that came in to say, I don't want this anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it was more of a sensation.
Mm. Mm.
And I think it's I had also to consciously, deliberately shut away the practical voice that's in the head of like, oh, what's happening? What do I have to watch out for? But just really notice, like, you know, the subtle shift that's happening.
Yeah, yeah. Because sometimes the body will hold on to energy, you know? Yeah. There are people who, you know, hold on to it in their bodies. That's why they have like aches and pains and like, you know, feelings of stuckness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sumendra said, I saw getting a lot of calls for consulting engagements. Karina says, I was thinking how to treat it. Okay, nice. People are following. That's great.
Okay. All right. So I'm guessing then, okay, we need to do this one more time. All right. So notice now where you are at. Okay. So you've both noticed some slight changes. Okay. So just notice that and see if there's more. Maybe there is. Chances are there are. Yeah. And when you brought that all into your awareness and you feel ready, just nod and I'll start again. Okay. Okay, super conscious. Can you see this event or emotion or memory that is present right now? Okay, if you can see it and it's ready to be treated, please treat it and do a massive change history and everything after that. And whenever you guys are ready, you can open your eyes. Okay.
I felt like heat.
Okay. Yeah. And Jada, did you notice anything else?
Well, I think the feeling, I said it opened up, right? And then the feeling went like, but also I felt like I know there's emotions coming there, but then it's also expanding and deepening also.
Okay.
But it's not like anymore. It's more of like.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay.
Like a melting marshmallow when you do that, babe.
A little bit, and there's a bit of a fire on the throat here with all the communication chakra or throat chakra. I don't know. But
yeah.
I know.
Okay. Okay. So if anyone else feels like sharing, please go ahead.
Yes, Sumendra says, feeling a sense of stability, relaxed, confident, felt warm, a giddy feeling in the throat. Oh. Wow, you got a giddy throat. Wow, it's the first time in my life I heard of such a thing. Nice one, Sumendra. Keep it going. Shaila, feeling like I need to change my response. Oh.
Okay. Okay. All right. So at this point, we've done 2 rounds, right? Do you all feel like it's good, or do you feel like you could do one more?
Can we?
Yes.
Bring it.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though like, like it's so subtle, but I feel like more needs to be done.
Yeah. So, okay, it's like a good measure of that would be like, do you feel like clear, like it's out, all right? Or do you feel like there's still something, there? Then if you feel like there's still like the sticky, then yeah, we can do it one more time. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit sneaky. It's a bit sneaky,
Yes.
yes. Huh? I said sneaky. It's sneaky. It's like it's trying to run away and not be dealt with. So it's like I try to get into the space and then my thoughts go, oh my God, babe, like Lin, you're on your live on air, you're closing your eyes and you're not doing anything. Come on, do something. So I'm just trying to okay. So yeah, sneaky. Let's nail it down.
Okay, sneaky parts. All right. Okay, so again, just tune in to what is there, and when you feel like it's been brought up fully, then just give me a nod and I'll do the third one. Okay, here we go. Superconscious, can you see what is present in the active experience right now? If you can see it, please treat, and it's ready to be treated, please treat it and do a massive change history and everything after that.
Sorry, were you like waiting for me?
No, just giving some time. Yeah. Okay. So how was the third one?
I opened my eyes because I was like doing this and then I was smiling because I was like I felt that the energy just and it's just gone.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but I didn't do anything. I was just sitting here listening to your command. What happened, Rimi?
Wow. Amazing. Yes.
So how do you feel now?
Cool.
Huh?
How do you feel now?
I felt the energy left like the shoulder for me, right? Yeah, and so then the initial intensity here's gone and just like out of the shoulder.
Okay. Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
But I have to admit that my logic is thinking like, what just happened? What's happening? What did we just do?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Lin, how was the third round for you?
So the word that came up for me before the command, which didn't show itself before, was the feeling of trappedness. Because I want to be I don't know how to say this. I don't want to be richer, but I want to expand my ability to earn more money, right? But yeah, I don't want to work hard. I don't want to work hard and suffer earning more money. So then suddenly I realized, so it started off with a feeling of there was just like slight vaccination when we started the exercise. But now what came up was this feeling of trappedness. So I'm trapped. Right? I don't want to work more, and I can't see myself working more anyway. But yet I want this. So the trappedness came up when Rimi gave the command. It was almost like a whitewash. This water just went whoosh and washed it out.
Wow.
And then I felt my eyes the energies just went whoosh. And then after that, this voice said, hey, you don't have to work hard, what? Just have fun lah. And then I caught myself smiling. Okay, yeah, have fun and earn more money. Sure. I don't know how, but it's about manifesting all possibilities, and I want to manifest that possibility.
Yeah.
I want to literally laugh my way to the bank.
Nice. Okay, so
Shaila has a report. Do you want to hear it? Okay, she says, disassociated the energy related with the previous emotion.
Okay.
Wow.
Cool. Do you guys think it's cool? Do you also have a part of you that's going, what just happened?
Sumandra said he's feeling a sense of stability, relaxed and confident.
Nice. Wow. Amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Rimi, what have you done?
You know what? I'm not doing anything except for reading out these same sentences over and over again. Yes. Yeah.
So what's doing the work then?
Okay. Well, so again, right, it is using that little window of reconsolidation in your mind and leveraging it to the fullest. Yeah.
Amazing how, amazing how the brain works, but it's not only the brain.
Yeah.
Right? Because here you're talking about superconscious. I mean, God knows what is going on in there. And I think 99% of what's going on in there determines how we act and how we feel. And we only know that 1%, like using our logics. It's damn amazing.
Wait. So hold on, pause. Let me just rewind a little bit. So Rimi, so basically by giving that command just now, you are commanding the superconscious, our superconscious, to go into that memory bank that we have there and changed it. And that was what caused the shift in the energy or the body, the feeling that we have in our body.
Okay, so it was basically telling your mind, okay, so the words massive change history is kind of like the sort of like the command word, right? And it means dissociate from the negative associations and connect them to positive ones.
Oh.
Right. And so this was a discovery not made by the neuroscientists, but actually, I think this is a psychologist. His name is Dr. Gary Flint. And he had worked with trauma patients his entire life. And he was also doing a lot of like muscle, he used a lot of kinesiology in his work. So he was doing lots of muscle testing. And somehow he stumbled onto the fact that you could talk to the subconscious, yes, and give it instructions. And it would actually follow through on them. Yeah. And so he's actually the one that kind of came up with these commands, you know. And like, so what else could you tell the subconscious to do for us, you know? And with a lot of experimentation, you know, he kind of came up with this method called process healing, which Colette had discovered. And she's like, wow, you know, she was so blown away by it that, so a lot of math is kind of based on his foundation, but she's also incorporated other things as well. Yeah, so a lot of us have this belief that the subconscious, you know, contains lots of info, right? And sorry, I'm going to cut short soon. And that, you know, it can override a lot of what we do. But it's like, I don't want people to think that they're like a hostage of their own subconscious, you know. It influences us, yes, right? But the executive power does lie with your consciousness, your 1%, you know. And so if you have tools, then, you know, you can manage your subconscious, you know, you don't have to be at its mercy. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, Jada, you wanted to say something?
I just want to say this is so cool. Like I can imagine that, you know, if anything comes up for me, I'll just like, superconscious, go, do your work. Can you settle this for me? Superconscious, go. I command you to like get rid of this problem I have. That's like so cool.
So this is where affirmations also come in. And I've never been a fan of affirmations. I never until this year. I always thought it's like it's positive thinking. I always thought it's positive thinking, which sorry, I'm not a fan of. But I realized that affirmations is exactly what you're just saying, which is yes, you're dealing with your blocks and your negative thoughts and etc. Like those are present. But affirmations are that we could say it's that possibility that it does happen and that it exists and it is actually existing. It's just that because we're so conditioned, I mean, because of our conditioning, we are focused more on the negative talk. For example, if somebody isn't confident their whole life, it's just, I'm not confident, I can't do it, I'm not confident, right? It's so used to singing that song. But the affirmation actually highlights that possibility that does exist. And just presencing an affirmation shifts your focus, and it tells the subconscious that you have that, you are that.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of like an example of this premise, but on a very like a lighter everyday method, or that I know a lot of people use.
Yeah. So now that you guys have experiences and you know how it works, right? Then you could also do this on yourself so that you can even reduce even further the barriers to your affirmation.
How? How? I have a pocket-sized Rimi.
Really? Do you do this on yourself, like on a day-to-day basis?
Like, yeah, these like quick map clearings I do, you know, especially if I felt a really intense emotion. And it's taking me a while to get over it. Yeah, I will actually do this so that I can calm down faster. Yeah.
Because in the previous episode, we talked about having the inner coach to coach yourself through issues, right? So I'm imagining you will probably have a inner map, right? Where you're talking yourself through all the commands.
Yeah. So, you know, like, especially for emotions when, you know, you really can't sit down and think, I think this is very helpful. Yeah. And then obviously when you're a lot more settled and you really need to work it through, then definitely the self-coaching will help. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so report came in from Karina. She said, so this is after the third round. I can't be sure of my feelings, but I saw options on a blank piece of paper, ... question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
Okay. Wow, the possibilities are opening up then?
Yeah, I think so too.
Cool.
Sumandra has a question. Why can't I recollect the first sensations?
Okay, recollect the first sensations when we were doing this or when it...
Yeah, Sumandra, you need to clarify your question. What exactly are you asking? Could you retype in chat? Okay, so so the rest of you who have been following, just share with us your state right now, your number right now.
Yes.
What's your number? What's your number, Jada? You started off at
I started off as 8, I think.
Yeah.
I'm probably at like a 3 or 4 now, I feel.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm like at a 6.
Okay. All right. So there's a definite shift. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And you know, this is really a very simple command too. So
actually, I'm feeling more hopeful. Yeah. I think there was a sense of dread of, I have an issue here. I don't know how to work past it. Not sure how it's going to change. But now, even though it dropped 1 notch, but I'm feeling hopeful, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Possibilities are opening up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Cool. Okay.
Shaila says she's a 4 right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Shaila started off, she started off at an 8. Wow.
You mean you just did like a mass map session with all of us here?
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yes.
What?
All right, keep the reports coming in. What's your number right now? I have a question for you, Rimi. So how does it feel like to be able to constantly clear yourself and do this inner work on a daily basis? What's, you know?
Well, what does it feel like? Okay, it feels great. Okay, so it feels great because I have tools. I know that I have tools at work. So that's a good feeling, you know. And I can see myself moving forward with more speed because I know how I used to be and how long it took for me to change. But change is happening a lot faster now. And another thing that I'm also noticing is that the challenges that I'm facing are maybe bigger in some ways. But I handle them a lot better. Yeah. Like if I think of how I used to be a few years ago and I would have been crushed by that challenge, I think now I'm not, I'm still functioning and I'm still doing the best that I can and I'm thinking forward. So that is really big for me, I think.
Almost like you are empowered, but because you can do it, you know that you're there for yourself. You can do it for yourself. You can help yourself.
Yeah. And, it's not just because I've got like these tools. I mean, yes, but like coaching has also been very empowering too. Because, I realized as I was doing a lot of this subconscious work that you can't clear everything from the subconscious. And you can't. You can't. It's just, it's like, it's too big, And that is a rabbit hole to try to do that. That is a huge rabbit hole. Yeah. And to work only from your subconscious is also not so empowering. It's because you're being very passive in the whole process, right? And the really great thing about coaching, I realized, is that you're creating new awarenesses as you go along. Those aha moments, right, that you get in coaching sessions. That is really the thing that just like solidifies, everything. And that gets, burned into your mind, it's like you create that new pathway in your brain, and that's something that is not so easy to do if you're constantly clearing the subconscious and you're waiting for it to happen, but you don't know how long it's going to take before it happens, Some people are ready, so it happens quickly, and some people are not so ready, so it can take years. Yeah.
I think coaching. Yeah, go.
I see what Rimi has, like the tools that she has is like a dance, right? So on one hand, she's like at the back clearing her subconscious, and then she's using coaching to bring in like new awareness, and then expanding herself, and then clearing her subconscious, and then bring new awareness and integrating that. It's really cool.
Yeah, I was going to say that coaching is the grounding element to this, because you are dealing with the three-dimensional world, right? The thing is, if you want to change, you are going to have to impact that through your behavior, your actions. You need to do your acts of courage. You need to communicate with, you can't just keep running away from the problem and giving your super conscious commands. But the person is standing in front of you and you're not saying what you should say.
Yeah, so that's why, some people talk about, raising their vibration and, law of attraction, which is great. It's a great thing. But I'm also like a realist, so yeah, like you said, right? We're living in a 3D world. So we do have to do the things that have to be done to make things happen. Yeah.
So I have a question, Rimi. How do you deal with things that are big and scary? So things that surface after many, many years, or, we all get confronted also looking within ourselves. And I think that's one of the stumbling blocks in the whole inner work journey. So how do you deal with those moments?
I don't use the tools, actually. I don't use those subconscious tools. I think for me personally, it comes down to just being totally honest with myself and just being like, okay, so let's be real, let's forget about what people are going to think about me or what they're going to say. What's going on here? Like, what's my honest truth? Yeah. And some of the things that I've admitted to myself, I would never tell anyone. Really, never. But having admitted them is almost like that's just what it was. That's what was needed. Like already you feel better. So like those shadow aspects, right? when you bring them out of the closet, you realize that, well, okay, yeah, I don't like how it looks, and I don't want that to be me. But now that I've seen it for what it is, it's like you already have started putting distance between yourself and that aspect. And then maybe as you clear yourself more and you're getting, really good at this inner work, you have stronger self-compassion skills, right? So you can start telling yourself things, like really like loving things, like, like good on you for bringing it up and being brave to do that. And, look at that thing over there that came out, it was actually like, just like maybe this neglected part of me that became so bitter that it started turning into this. And so I've got to give it more love, or, I just have to give it more respect, or I don't know, something. Yeah. And sometimes, yeah, that's enough. It's like not a big deal, you know? Yeah.
It's almost like a muscle that you can train.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. Yeah. Just holding that space for yourself. I think a lot of you guys are coaches. I think most everyone who's listening is also a coach. So they're so used to holding the space for other people except themselves.
I think it's also something that we've talked about in our previous series where we spoke about courage, right? I think courage definitely is that thing that you need to be able to like hold the mirror out onto your own face and take a look at what's really happening, and then to, as you said, right, what's the honest truth here? What's really happening here?
Yeah.
And I want to throw an ingredient into that as well, which is ownership. When when unpleasant things happen around us, it's very painful to admit how you were part of that. But unless we own that part, we can't work on it. Yeah. So courage and ownership.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because if you continue to blame someone or something, yeah, it's going to be so hard. Yeah.
Okay, well, Mabel has a report in and she's at a 4 from an 8.
Nice.
So I'm asking, so guys, if you have any questions, so if there's anything else you want to report, type it in chat so Rimi knows where you're at. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in chat and we'll come to that. Rimi, what's next for us all then? So we've gone through a clearing, we've dropped a couple of numbers, notches. What now? What next?
Okay.
Do we need to do anything? Do we need to meditate on it?
Okay, so you've definitely dropped a few notches. And for some people, maybe this is enough, like they're happy with that number because maybe they're just not interested or they're not willing to go further, So if that's your truth, that's fine. Okay. But if you're like dead set on reducing that to like a 1 or a 0, I'm sure you all have tools to do that. But if you want to do more map, then I'm always available to do a session, then we could do like 1 hour of really going into that and then just, clearing what else could be there. Because maybe there is a lot of stuff there. I don't know. Yeah.
And you do these remote, right? You can do it without meeting in person.
So for map, it's better if we could at least meet through Zoom. Yeah, because if you can, like we did just now, where you bring it up into your awareness and then we do the commands and then you can reflect on what has changed, you can really feel the change. If we don't meet, it might be harder to notice, so although I have done it, but it's going to be very subtle, I think, unless you really tune in and you can feel those things. Yeah.
Can I report something?
I
can't remember if I'm feeling like sleepy right now. So I don't know. I can't remember if I shared this earlier, but when in my very first few sessions that I ever did with Rimi a couple of years ago, I remember like she asked me a lot of like all these different comments and questions, and we walked through the issues that I was bringing. And then after I left the session with you, I went home and I just slept. It felt like I've done a lot of work, but actually I was really sitting there with you and just following your command. And I'm having a sort of like similar feeling here right now, like I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah. Okay, so like I said earlier, the body also holds on to energy. Like, especially some people are like that, some of it hold it all up in their heads and they think a lot. Okay, but other people might hold it in their bodies. So let's say whatever was happening up here was held in the body, and whatever we did today helped to release all of that. You dissociated all that energy and you let it go. You're gonna feel this like what's the word again? Your parasympathetic system, the one that calms you down. Your parasympathetic system will calm down, right? So you're gonna feel yourself relax. Yeah, because your brain has relaxed.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel so relieved
Yeah.
for you, Jada.
Oh, I can sleep.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Let's see if I can sleep through the night. Because for the last few weeks, I always wake up in the middle of the night. Maybe I can sleep through the night today.
Oh,
I'll get back to you on
Yeah.
that.
let us know. Let
Yeah.
us know. So I love that statement. The body holds on to energy. I find it so intriguing, and I want to unpack that more, but not here. But I've been dealing with this my back, right? And I kind of feel like so for many months there's a part of my back that will go numb. And I go for Tuina, and I love my masseuse. She's really good. I tried acupuncture, but that didn't really seem to work. And then suddenly, one day, it hit me that maybe it's not a physical problem. Maybe it's some kind of like an energetic hole. Like I feel like there's something happening there. Like either energy is being sucked, like leaking out, or I don't know why does that spot always goes numb. And I've been thinking, oh, maybe I should go and talk to Rimi. But do you think Matt would sort that out?
Yeah. So what we did today is really just a very, very simple, command, right? But MAP can work on the body too. Yeah.
Even if I don't know what it is, I can't articulate it, as long as I can recall that sensation, right? Presence, that sensation.
Yeah. Actually, you just reminded me. So about a year ago, when I first started doing that, and I did some sessions for someone who had really bad back pain. And so we did MAP to relieve that pain. And even I was blown away. He was like, wow, I can feel it reduce, like as we were doing it. And it was going away, yes. So like I said earlier, the body was holding on to something, and it was all being held on to in his lower back. Yeah.
Did he manage to articulate like through an image, or did something come up after that to make sense of his experience?
Okay, so this guy did have an inkling of what that back pain could be about. That kind of stuff also came up as well. But he could feel the physical sensations, the pain decreasing in the back. Yeah.
On the spot, right?
Yeah, like on the spot, of course we didn't just do one, it was like several things, but as we worked through them, he could feel the pain decrease. So like if the beginning of the session was like, let's say a 9, I can't remember exactly, but he went down a few notches in that one session. And I think we had done more than one session too. So maybe over the course of a few more sessions, he really felt the back pain go down. Yeah. So
I'm gonna
anytime I'm happy.
Okay, Shaila's asking, can breath work be used in conjunction with MAP?
Okay, so I think so. I mean, like I'm not actually very well versed in like breath work, so but I'm pretty sure it can be used. I'm just trying to think like how it would work out. Yeah, I could see it fitting in. Maybe. I'm wondering how where you would apply it. Like maybe before or after the session, like at the start, and then as we do more map, or maybe like in between the map commands. Yeah. So I think we'd have to play around a bit, most effective, but I'm sure it could be used together because I use map interchangeably with emotion code. So I'm pretty sure it will work with other stuff.
Book a session with Rimi and you can find out.
I must say, so having mentioned emotion code and body code, guys, so we did talk about that modality today, but again, that's another modality that I that has helped me. And that one, like Rimi can do remote, so she can do like a remote clearing. You just have to say, you can just go about your life, and then suddenly like a report from Rimi will come in to say what she's cleared. And I remember the last session I had with you was when I was just coming out of my first trimester with Luna, and I felt so horrible. I was so sick, and I had so many thoughts of dying. And sure enough, in the report that came up from Rimi, there was some vow from some past life about what was it? But it's got to do with death and killing and dying or something like that. And I didn't even tell that to you, Rimi. I just said, I'm feeling like shit, just help me do some clearing. So that was amazing.
Okay, wow. Yeah. So you just reminded me, sorry. So I've actually recently started combining coaching and emotion code. So what I've been doing is I would do a coaching session, right? And during the session, maybe like a pain point will come up, like we'll be talking about things and then like a particular, memory might come up or, just like right? And okay, that's when I would ask permission if we could use emotion code. And a lot of times people will say yes. And so okay. Are you able to see me still or hear me?
Yes, yeah, good. You're moving again.
All right. Okay, so then I would use a little emotion code and clear like maybe 3-4 emotions. And then we would go back and it would almost be like it would work. I'm so because first of all, the emotions that come up are going to remind them of events in the past that they had completely forgotten about. But they're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. But it makes so much sense.
This is sick. Okay, this is so sick. I mean, this is so awesome.
It's a whole intensive session and just do all this together.
Yeah, why do I work so hard for my master certified coach credential for?
Coaching. Yeah, but like coaching is amazing. It takes so much skill, really. It was so hard for me. Like, I don't know how you do it.
But no, I mean,
it takes so much skill to be able to question people, to be able to lead them to an awareness using the skill of questioning. It is such an incredible skill. So like, so much respect to all of your coaches, because it really helps. You need to like hold back on everything that you're seeing and help the client elicit their awareness, right? So that takes a lot of skill. And but that awareness is really amazing. It is so grounding, like you said. This subconscious stuff sounds really cool and everything, but they are tools at the end of the day. And it's really that awareness and that big aha that pushes everything forward.
So I think, Rimi, you're a very good example of how a coach can combine different modalities, and you'll find your own style, your own technique, your own methodology. So coaches who are listening in, Rimi is an example of that. So don't be afraid to experiment and to find your own unique formula. I mean, I'm so jealous at what Rimi is doing, and I'm like, okay, I need to find something which will just the subconscious so that, combine with my coaching skills, right? So So like keep it up, Rimi. Thank you for doing what you do. And you know, a lot of us coaches go to you. So thank you for supporting us. Like really, because
Yeah.
I think we need it as well.
Maybe could you put your
Yeah,
hand
I
there,
mean,
or
it's great.
how can the coaches reach out to you to like experience what you have to offer, whether it's in the emotion code or map? Maybe put into the chat and let them know how they can reach out to you, because I'm sure they'll be curious to find out the
Okay,
work that you're
I'm
doing.
doing that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm doing that for you right
Yeah,
now.
I think Lin has shared some info.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not working. Delete.
I can also share my email address if you want to write to me. Should I put that in?
Okay, just
Okay,
put in
why
the
not?
yeah.
Okay, so for all of you that's watching, that's still with us, thank you for being with us in the last 1 hour. I hope that you've managed to sort through some of the issues or something that's really present for you through Rimi's method. And if you're curious to find out more of what MAP method is and all the emotion code, reach out to Rimi. Her handles are going to be on the chat box. I mean, the chats below. What's next? We have next week, next Tuesday, we've got another really exciting topic, which I love. And I myself just went through an intensive went through a whole month of learning and training that in Portland earlier this year. Lin, you went through that about how long ago did you learn that method?
2010.
2010.
And Rimi, you're familiar with her and you're familiar with the work because you worked a lot with her as well. We're going to have Ting Ning on our show. She is our resident faculty member. She is a PCC. Frankly, she coaches at MCC level. She just hasn't done the paperwork. So she's a fantastic coach. And again, a prime example of somebody who combines modalities. So she's going to be doing some inner work with us using process-oriented psychology. So we're going to have a lot of fun because that's a very different tone from what we've experienced today.
Yeah. So if you're interested to find out what process-oriented psychology is, join us back next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Singapore time. And we look forward to seeing and sharing with you another modality.
Yeah, all right. If you liked the episode, please give us a thumbs up. All right, give us a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Go check her out, please. And I'll book a session for after this. Thank you for your time, Rimi.
Thank you
so much for doing the work for us.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was so much fun to do this with you guys. Really appreciate it.
Of course, you have to say that because you're an air in front of everybody, right?
I really enjoyed it. Yes.
I'm kidding. Okay, Jada can go to sleep now.
I'm like, I'm sleepy. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rimi, once again.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. Tuesday.
All right, good night, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.